Hi, first grade. In this lesson, we are going to think about more about what a clock looks the way it does. In first grade, you guys knew all about number lines, and I bet you use them all the time. But what you might not have realized is that a clock is just a number line rolled into a circle. And I'm going to show you how to take a number line and turn it into a clock. To do this project today, you are going to need tape, you're going to need a pair of scissors, and you're going to need the worksheet that is on our first grade website. The first thing you're going to do is you're going to cut out the big rectangle and the little tab that is attached. So I'm going to cut this out real quick. And be very careful that you definitely are going to want to keep that tab. Then, once you've cut out your whole rectangle, you have to cut each of these little tabs on the solid line, because you are going to need those tabs separate so that you really can see how this will turn into a clock. You will notice on these tabs that there are two numbers. There is a smaller number that goes from 1 to 12, and there is a larger number that goes from 5 all the way to 55, and the last one is 00. So you will need both of those on a clock. The last thing you need to do to make this is to fold on this dotted line. So I'm going to find a flat surface and fold along that line. So now you have something that looks like this. Now if you take this and turn it into a circle like this, and the tab will go in this little spot, you will notice that these can flip up. And if you flip them up, it's starting to look a little bit more like a clock. It won't be an exact clock, but it will be pretty close. Now I'm going to take my little piece of tape and I'm going to tape the little tab down so that I don't have to hold it so carefully. So here is my clock, and I can put the 12 at the top just like a clock is normally, and then you will see it going around 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and then back to 12 again. You will notice that if you find a clock in your house, an analog clock, that means a round clock with numbers on it, that it will look a little bit like this with numbers going around the edges. The reason why we have these bigger numbers here too is that those are the minutes. So if the smaller numbers are the hours and the larger numbers are the minutes. And if you notice on a clock that you have at home, it might only have the smaller numbers on it. That's because you have to memorize that 9 hours, if a hand is pointing there, it's also secretly, it's 45 minutes. So these big hour numbers, like 8 hours, it's also the same little spot is also 40 minutes. So we have two different number lines, one that counts by ones and one that counts by fives. Have fun making a little clock and then walk around your house. Notice, do you have clocks at your house? You might have a digital clock that just has numbers on it with two little dots between the numbers, but you might have a round clock called an analog clock. Maybe somebody in your house wears a watch. Maybe somebody has a clock on their wall. So check it out. See if you can find clocks at your house.